These images are photographs of the reflections of branches in Barden Lake. The starting point for these images is place. In nature, informed by water, trees, and tranquility, the camera captures a perception of spirituality. The mythic and the romantic link colour and form to the idea of the numinous. Deep colour saturation makes these images more than natural. Indeed, they're literally supernatural. The extended time exposures blur not only the image itself, but also the line between relative perceptions of the image. By embracing the abstract but retaining their representational essence, these images become visual culture metaphors that explicate the synesthesic resonance of the spirit. In arriving at a concept for these images, I've referenced Kandinsky and his book Concerning the Spiritual in Art, Jackie Higgins in her book Why It Does Not Have to Be in Focus, Derek Jarman, his book Chroma, and the work of Kazimir Malevich on suprematism. I was influenced by Millet's Ophelia and the story surrounding its creation. Also, the water motif in this and many other 19th century romantic paintings. On the subject of romanticism, I read Paul O'Kane in Art Monthly. He wrote an article called Is Romanticism a Dirty Word? And reading this made me realize that what I'd produced probably was romantic, that the art world probably didn't think that was a terribly cool thing to have produced, but that there was an argument for reclaiming Romanticism as a valid contemporary art. During my research work for this project, I looked at work by Kandinsky, Rothko, Laurie Hepner, Wolfgang Tillmans, Catherine Yass, Shirana Shabazi, Robert Delaunay, Walid Beshti, Kazimir Malevich, Willy Baumeister, Joseph Albers, and the Ophelia by Millet that I've already spoken about. One of the great luxuries of this length of project was the ability to experiment as I developed ideas and processes to help with making the work. Ideas that I explored included a dryad series about tree spirits. I was very taken by a tree that had honey fungus and its limbs had been cut off. It seemed to me a very dramatic natural phenomenon. Used medium format film and cross-processed E6 film. In another project, again emulating Catherine Yass, I grilled negatives with bleach and vinegar, again looking for some kind of abstraction that had meaning for me. I also experimented with pure abstraction, creating images in Photoshop. I created a series of images I called the Trance series, which were really musical paintings after Kandinsky. I also created Photoshop images based on the castle walls of Tunbridge, which I called the Chromurus series. And from these and the Naiad series I created the Eternal, the Transitory and the Absolute, 30 images in a book and as a concept for a one-man show. I also found an encouraging quote by Aristotle, who said, "The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance."